A rather late entry for the NES lifespan, McKids is a platformer released in 1992-93 in Europe. Players take control of Mick and Mack as they travel through Mcdonaldland, chasing after the Hamburglar trying to retrieve Ronald McDonald's magic bag. All of those classic McDonald's characters make an appearance in this game as Mick and Mack travel around collecting puzzle cards, golden arches, and traversing interesting mechanics such as gravity reversal, warping, and a boat that does weird things. The game is really quite gorgeous in terms of graphics, and starts out simple enough. However, the game as a whole itself received middling reviews relating to an inconsistency in its difficulty. On the upside, its soundtrack remains highly praised, and for that, we can thank Dutch composer Charles Deenan. Hobbying in composing and audio programming since the age of 13, Deenan is also a founder of the music group Maniacs of Noise, who, combined, worked on audio for many games, especially the Commodore 64. Thank you, Mr. Deenan, for all of your contributions to game audio. We will be covering more trends in dance music as we look at Level Theme 2 on today's episode of Stick to Games. Hey everybody, Kenny Jr. here, and welcome back to Stick to Games. In today's episode, we're going to take another quick look at dance music. The pattern we're going to be talking about today closely models what originated from house music. Now, the category of house music was established as early as about 1977 or so by great DJs such as Frankie Knuckles, Ron Hardy, and Mr. Fingers. What differentiates this category from other dance categories such as trance or drum and bass is that house will typically stick to the four-to-the-floor kick drum pattern, whereas others might see a little bit more variation. However, depending on the context of the song, one may find more percussive elements beyond the boots and caps model. I would also like to take a moment to graze over the general sound of house drums. As established way back when, you'll generally notice a trend of dirtier, grittier sounding drums. So it's not uncommon for producers to put like a amplifier or a bit crusher effect on their kick drums and snare drums. Anything to make it sound really, really gritty, really rough. And it adds a little bit more power like that as well. So as we take a look at this surprisingly great soundtrack, those are going to be a couple of things to keep in mind as you prepare to produce your own EDM track. So, if you're ready to check this one out, let's take it to the set. In the beginning of this arrangement, the music builds around us while we let the hi-hat set the groove. The hi-hat comes in tuned a little bit lower than typical, and it usually focuses on the upbeat, but we can freely sneak in a little bit of variation up there as well. Then, at the top of the build-up, we will go ahead and start playing the primary pattern. Our kick will come in with a forward-to-the-floor pattern, keeping that beat driving forward, while our hi-hat maintains the same pattern as before. On the 2 and 4, we will add the snare drum, again looking for a wide and dirty sound. Yeah! And from this track, we'll hear a quick variation on snare on every 4. We generally hear these types of patterns to represent the go-go nature of the genre, and usually your tempo will be at about the between the 120 to the 140 range, generally speaking, for this house music. But sometimes we can break it down as well with a halftime pattern. With this, we'll hear a much busier kick drum. We couple that with a 16-beat halftime pattern, and it results in a groove that seems to move half as fast, adding to the excitement and the drama of the tune. So, as far as the pattern goes, that just about does it. Hope you guys all enjoyed this quick look at one category of dance music. There are still many more that we can dive into in greater detail, but I thought it made sense to kind of address the standard pattern that everyone thinks of. So, let's try to put it together alongside this personal arrangement of mine. That said, if you're ready to play, let's take it from the top. Alright everybody, that just about covers everything we had to talk about today. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to hit that like button and also subscribe so you can see my future videos. Remember to hit me up on social media, Instagram or Twitter if you want to make a special request for a video or if you just want to drop by and say hi. Also be sure to check out my website where you can find these transcriptions as well as other content that I produce. I hope you enjoyed everything today and I hope to see you again soon. Till next time.